Hello, hello. I hope everyone is having a good day. Yes, it is Desiree. Let's see here, just getting things set up like always. I'm just starting a little bit earlier um, because I'm not going to be too long. Um, because I am part of the Stress Free Card Makers Summit, and then there's another live that I'll be on at noon. Good morning, Kelly. How are you? Biddy, hello. How are you guys doing? So we're gonna make some cards today, 5x7. So I already got the bases done. I just gotta score them. If I can find. Everything's just a mess here. Absolute mess. Let's see. What am I doing here? I'm doing that. Okay. So we'll just get these scored. We'll see how many we can get done today because we are going to play with the new collection or my new collection that will be live November 2nd. And I'll have a special live on that where I show all the samples, but they are in pre-order right now. So yeah, you may want to jump on those if you're interested. Had a wonderful time yesterday. Oh, okay, so that's scored off, but that's okay. We can make it work. So yes, the stamps, they're live, but not live. So once I get these done, I will show them to you. Everything did work out, so we are still good for November 2nd. I was breathing a little heavy. But you know what? We just go with it. We don't have to stress or anything like that. I do have a few stamps that sold out yesterday. So I'll look at bringing those back in. Oh, good, you were doing Middleton. Middleton's very interesting. So Biddy's talking about a tangle, and I've got some pretty big announcements today, too. So, oh, look at that, I went right to it. So that is Middleton, the tangle. It's really cool. You can do a lot with this. You can turn it into a fragment where you just do this one section, keep turning it, and all of that fun stuff. And again, that's in my Podia group. There is a tangle coming out every day for Inktober. And today we're going to kind of move through and continue with Inktober. Let's see, where's mine? There we go. So if you wanted to see the stamps before they get all inky, here they are. Here is our release. So we have one 6x6 in this collection. And then the rest are 6x8, actually. So here we have a stocking with 3 sentiments: holly jolly, very merry, and making spirits bright. Made them just a little bit bigger to fit across that. So we're going to be doing something with that. Here we have the tangled frame. And again, this will fit on a 5x7 card base, and it will also fit on a standard A2 size card base as well. Again, we'll just get a section of it, but it'll fill that up very nicely. Um, we also have this one that will fit on a 5x7 card base. But again, if you look at these and just look at half of them, you can get them, you can quarter them, you can do anything that you're looking for to get onto a standard A2 size card. That's the beauty of Zentangle inspired art, because it can turn any way that it's supposed to go. It doesn't have a top, bottom, left, right, diagonal. It can go any which way that we want it to go. And then here are some bitty tangles. And then these can be bookmarks, they can be borders, um, again, anything that you want them to be. The size of these are 2 by just under 6 inches, so it's a nice size for a bookmark if that's something that you would want to do. So all of this collection is available for pre-order, and it will ship out starting November 2nd. Good morning, Ave. Good morning, Cordelia. How are you guys doing? All right, so they are up. They are ready. And I was able to make some wonderful adjustments when it comes to shipping, which made me happy. So hopefully that does for you as well. Okay, so let's get stamping. Let's do the first one, and I think I'm going to take care of all of my stamping first. Well, all of the image, my sentiments, I'll do afterwards. So how is everyone doing? Everyone having a good week? Anybody watching the Stress-Free Card Makers Summit? There are some great techniques going on in there. This will fit on a standard A2 size card base as well. But you guys know me, I like real estate. So we'll just get this lined up. And we are going to keep the coloring very minimal. We're going to use our graphite. We're going to use, here, I'm just priming my stamp. And I'm going to use my chalk pastels. Biddy, you should never be, no one should ever be intimidated by tangling. Because the beauty of it, there is no right or wrong. That's the wonderful thing about it. There's no right or wrong. I'm just using, I either use my Altenew Obsidian pigment ink when I mostly stamp these, or I'll use my VersaFine black, whether it is the Nocturne or the original. Either one works, and works very well. There we go. One down. One down. Now I think, and I am, I want to stamp that again. Hang on. The paper that I'm stamping on is a uh, Bristol vellum. I do like the Bristol vellum, and it can be Canson, it can be whatever you have. Let's see, what do I have? We'll go with this one. Let's see. See if that works. Ooh. That's what I'm looking for. I want this top part again. There we go. Now we'll just set that one off to the side. Get that cleaned. So yes, these are the first time I'm using these. All right, next up, we are going to stamp the frame. Kelly, which stamp did you like? Good morning, Gwen. Was it the stocking? I like the stocking. I think the stocking came out really cute. Now, what I do love is this is all one piece. Even this part in here. So, yeah, loving that. And you can see these just fit on a 5x7 panel. Now, this panel is actually cut to 4 7/8 by 6 7/8. So, yeah. And hopefully this doesn't shift. Let's see. I'll press it down. So I do like the fact that this is all one piece. A lot of times you get that open space in there and then it kind of goes, well, that would be the technical sound for wonky. Oh good, it didn't shift. Now with the frames, you'll see that the frame's cutting in. Oh yeah, I guess I should do that too. Okay. So all these pieces are just going through. And I'm not putting too much pressure. That's why they're doing what they're doing here. And I think I'll just ink it one more time. I'm trying not to do CPR anymore on my stamps. I tend to do that. There we go. Oh, got a little spot, but you know what? We can cover that. So that's that one. What you do want to remember when you have a stamp that's this side is to make sure that it's flat in your stamp position, or like right here, I got a bubble. So that's why I got that spot. Okay. I'm using my muscles to get the stamps off, and hopefully I'm not getting ink all over me. So because of the detail, um, you do want to stamp them multiple times to make sure that you're getting that good impression that you want. And again, panels cut same size, 4 7/8 by 6 7/8. And you hear that sound? Yes, that's Max taking a snooze. And especially this one. This one's got a lot of what we'll call drama. And it comes to the rope. This is a tangled rope. Nice. And there's just a lot going on in that one. All right. And I'm just going to choose one of the bookmarks. So that we can see what we can do with those. Oh, lots of noise. All right, we'll set that one off. And for this one, we're still going to make a card. And I think I'm going to use this one. Ouch. Yes, Gwen, these are the latest stamps that are going to be released. on November 2nd. They are available for pre-order. I had a very busy and honoring day yesterday. Okay, all right. Your Caddy Wampus Crafter, because I love that name. I'm just saying. That is awesome. So yes, these are available for pre-order. And I believe I don't remember which one, but I do believe one of the stamps I'm going to have to do another run, which is an awesome problem to have. I am so honored to have that. But we will have them in plenty of time. All right. So even though these can be bookmarks, they can still be that border. And we're going to just show you a couple things with what we can do. All right. The stamping is completed. Now I can get this all off my table. Let's get some room, clean my fingers because I got ink all over them. You know, the normal stuff that we do. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Biddy. I think Cordelia says, I think Desiree's going to do what I imagined for that stocking because I'm lazy. No one's lazy. I thought I could stamp it on colored cardstock, but then stamp and color the ornaments separately. I put them on. Uh, not quite. Okay, here we go. Let's start with, so remember with these, and I see this is missing. So you can see right here, I've got that little spot that I missed. Not a problem. It's the beauty of it because I got my pens, I've got my graphite and my chalk. I've got my other pastels that I'm going to be using. And the first thing that I do want to do is I'm going to fussy cut this. I know, and I use small scissors to fussy cut. Yeah, I'm just saying. Everyone's envisioning Biddy with the large gargantua ones. Just saying. So I am going to go right up to that line. I may even go just a little bit away from it because then I'll come in with my marker to go around it. Because I do still want the black line showing. And I think next weekend, I think I'm going to break out my cinch. And we're going to have some fun with that. But I had a great time last weekend. So what I did in the I'm loving the stress-free card maker summit. Having a good time in there, seeing what everyone. I enjoy going through the group and seeing what everyone is creating. And what I did, I guess I introduced to card makers just using a pencil and what we can do with that pencil. And people are just doing beautiful things with it. They're digging into their stash. They're looking at all of their images and how they can utilize that. So I think it's wonderful. Puts a smile on my face. Okay, so we have that. Vicky, good morning. Oh, someone needs to raid piggy banks. But um, it was a very busy day yesterday. It was a wonderful day. It was absolutely wonderful day. It was one of those days. Okay, so I can't fussy cut. Wow, really? How did I do that? That's all right. So that is going to sit there, and it's going to get propped up. So that's what we're going to do with that. Dun, 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 dun. And then this is going to sit on here, but I'm going to need my black cardstock. And then everything else yes. Let me show that one. There we go. Yes. All right, I agree with you. I'm not. I am not a fussy cutter. Nope. Absolutely not. I do it when I have to. But it can give just some wonderful results. And yeah, I kind of do the cringe motion as I'm fussy cutting. But I think because of the digitals and the journals that I love putting together, there's always so much fussy cutting in that. So I kind of have to, you know, just grin and bear it. Grin and bear it. Because sometimes you just don't want that die cut or the die for it because you have that white space around it. It's not fun. All right. So when I do this, I'm going to get this up onto that background. And then I'll just work directly onto the card, going from that. And remember, these can be stamped in, anything. If you want to do different colors, if you want to do embossing, that's what's great with stamps. All right, we're going to set that because we're going to keep putting our pieces onto our border. Then I can get them on the cards and I know they're there, and we may just have a good chance of getting through these before I have to run off. You should see me. From the waist on up, I look fabulous. Hair's done, makeup's done, earrings are in. From the waist on down, I've got corgi fluffy pants on and slippers. So I hope I don't have to stand up. Well, that went crooked. It's alright, we just wiggle because that's the beauty of glue. We have wiggle room. And you can stamp these on any cardstock that you have. Whether it's your recollections, whether it's in Nina, whatever you would want. Because your graphite or pencil will work on that. Your chalk pastels, you may get just a slightly different look if you're using, a Nina, because Nina is smooth. You don't need a lot of tooth to do your blending. But it is nice to have some of it. You can use watercolor paper. Like I've been. So just use what you got. All right, our last one. And since I'm doing basically the same technique on each of these, we can do these in production style. All right, so let's start with this one. Oh, let me put my before they all dry out. So one of the things that I was looking at when it came to the collection as well is how versatile the images can be. Now, of course, a Christmas stocking's a Christmas stocking. I'm just saying. Could we make it eerie and Halloweeny? Oh, sure we can. You can add tangles to it. You can change your colors. Whatever it is you would want to do. Now, I think I'm going to try to zoom you guys in. So hang on. Let me see if there's any question. Let's see. Vicky, I don't listen to that either. Oh, if you only knew. Biddy knows. I think she fell off her chair. Just saying. Okay. They just attacked. All right. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed that. Good morning, Jill. How are you? I hope I didn't miss anybody else in here. All right, so let's see if I can zoom you in. Remember, if you have any questions, make sure you put them in caps so I can see them. We are just going to use, I just want to use the graphite on the top for these. Yeah. Beauty of it, when we add the graphite or pencil, again, pencil, pencil, graphite. This is graphite. Pencil. You don't want a mechanical pencil. You want the old-fashioned wooden pencils. They're still around. I can still get them. We don't care about top, bottom, left, right. We don't care about light source. It is the most awesome feeling in the world. And we just add it. Now, I am heavy with my graphite. I love the look of graphite. I think it adds a lot to the tangle, because this for me is when the tangle starts coming to life. The way that you can look at your graphite is it pushes, the more graphite you put down, the more it will push back the image. Where you have it open, then that is where the highlight will come in. But it doesn't matter which way we go when we're adding this. You can use your graphite to color solid. Why not? There's no rules. No rules at all. I'm not being precise. I'm just getting that down. See? Done. Well, no, we're not done. We're not done. All right. Now I'm going to come in with my blending stump, and I'm just, again, I'm not looking for the perfect blend. These aren't like colored pencils or anything like that. We're just pushing the graphite around. And just creating those shadows. Making sure to leave those highlight areas. And by adding the graphite only on one side, we make these little jetties. That's what this tangle is called. Little spears. They're just dancing around. There you go. That's all you gotta do. Nothing fancy. Alright, now on the bigger piece, I'm going to do kind of a mixture. Now, for here, I'm going to squiggle. Yep, it's a technical term. I'm just going to squiggle along this outside. And I'm going to go kind of heavy. Because I want this to come out and around. And by doing this, that top piece is going to poke up. And then I'm also going to come around the whole stocking. Am I? Yes. The way I'm spinning this here, I thought, okay, I just got out of camera there this whole time. So we don't need precise lines. Now I'm also going to add my graphite down these lines as well. See? All right. Then I'm going to add. So what I'm finding as I continue to play and have some fun, I like adding a colored chalk pastel over the graphite. And just a thin line. I didn't have my graphite in that spot. Because I like the mix. I like the darkness of it. You do not have to add your chalk pastels to your graphite. You could just leave your chalk pastels if you want, if you like the color. Totally your choice. But I am liking the darkness that it gives with just the hint of color instead of that full-blown color. And you can see it's just a straight line. Now for this, I am going to go this way. A little bit of that way. We'll go on the heel. So multiple ways to add your graphite, add however it is that you want to do. So now that I have all that down, now we're going to blend. Now I do suggest that when you're blending with different colors, you do want, just like with everything we do in card making, unfortunately, you want your different tortillones. So you want one that's dedicated to your graphite. So I'm going to do that one first. And I'm just going to go in circular motions to just blend that out. And I'll go over this twice. I don't know why, I just do. Again, we develop our process. Sorry for the squeaky sound, but at least you're not hearing Max snore. So, you know, I'm not quite sure which is worse. Yeah, I'm just saying. Not quite sure. All right, now let me get. I'll be right back. I'm going to trip over that. Okay. That was quick. So again, this is a pack of 12, very inexpensive on Dick Blick. You can get 12 of these for like, I think under $2. And I do like the tortillones instead of the solid ones, the solid large ones. All right, and then I'll usually, where's my pen? I'll mark it, and I'll just write red. Not that that helps me, but you know, let's make it look good. Chalk pastels, yeah, they're fun to sharpen. There are certain sharpeners, very inexpensive. The best sharpener that I have found for chalks is the General's red little sharpener. It looks like something that we got back in kindergarten. For me, that's what really sharpens them. I try to avoid sharpening chalk pastels, honestly, Abe. Now, it's easier when they're woodless. These are woodless ones. But eventually you do, because they do have that slight coating going on here. But as long as I keep it on the side, I don't lose that point, because I don't hold them like I do, you know, a pencil. You could see I was holding it all the way back here to get that color down, if that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, you definitely can sharpen them. I need to know, what am I going to do the toes? Toe and heel, toe and heel, toe, heel, toe, heel. All right, let's get everything blended out first. This is my red. And then I'm just going to go back and forth on the red, mixing that red with the graphite. So I'm not getting this bright, vibrant color. I'm getting this soft, different shade. And I'm really liking that lately. And that came out from the last live when we were tangling together, because I was mixing the graphite with them on the watercolor. And yeah, just really, really liked it. And I want this to come down as well. Forgot to do that. So now that looks like that is coming up, and that's going back down. Yeah, and then you can come in with white. Even though we're kind of on a white paper, you can still add the white strip down the center. And then I blend that out with my finger. I don't know why. I just do. Need color in there. How about blue? Let's go with a blue. What do you think? Is that a touch of blue? A deep, rich blue. And then again, we can come in with that white. See? Gwen, I think these are the mediums. Yeah, I like the mediums. And the other reason why I like these two is because they're small. Again, I hold them up into my hand. Same thing with the smaller pencil. I can hold that up into my hand and I can just do that. When it's longer, I mean, absolutely, we can use this. I want to hold it like this. When I go with one of these, if I'm in a pinch, I'll start doing this. And that's how I'll handle my pastels. All right, so let's get this propped. So lots of foam dots, because that is what you all came to see. Me put foam dots on my piece. I know somebody's telling me I don't have to put that many. I know, but I do. All right, so let's continue on in announcements. So I have a big one. Um, okay, you know, here we go. I love foam dots, but I should have used a different color so that I can see what I'm doing here. Okay, so stamp set, pre-order, ship out November 2nd. And now we're just going to put this right down over what we stamped. Yep, I'm up on my tippy toes. And I'm going to come in with a darker graphite because I do want this to really get dark under there. Yeah, I just kept you all hanging on that, didn't I? I did. I'm sorry. Hang on. And I'm going to pull that out. There we go. So now this is coming up, and when you do your outline on your piece, that looks like it's coming up off the page as well. And it was a pencil. A pencil. To say. Okay. So Cordelia asks, what's the difference between colored charcoal pencils and the pastel pencils? Nothing. Charcoal's going to be a little softer. These are harder. But the charcoals are great. And I honestly do suggest buying them um, individually. Pick your colors. I don't, when it comes to, don't be me. Okay. Um, be specific with your colors. If they come in open stock, now I know the Derwents do. Faber-Castell has them. I don't know if the Sohos are in open stock. But if you can get those, then I would. Now, I do know that there are more sets of pastels coming out that are really reasonable. I think one's by Coher, yeah, I have to look that name up. So they are getting more reasonable, but you only need a small set. You don't need every color under the sun. And I will state that very true. Generals has them and they're very reasonable. But you don't need to have every color in the book. You just want to look, okay, well, what am I using? Because your primary, at least for me, is the graphite. That for me is the primary um, for the coloring. Now they did come out with a heavier, this is a darker graphite. That just means, so the graphites that you could, if you're looking to get a scent, Faber-Castell has an awesome scent. They're called matte black, and they have the 2B, the 4B, 6B, 8B, 10B, 12B, and that just means it's not hard. So you have your numbers with an H, and then you have your numbers with a B. You want to look for the numbers with the B when it comes to all of this. That'll give you a little bit more. This is like a number, a 2H, the regular everyday pencil that we used during my time, at least through high school. And then you want to move into the B's, and it's a really nice set and not a bad price. Or just stick with your number two. You don't need to go crazy here. All right, I'm gonna real quick grab my pen, and I'm going to add the lines that I didn't stamp well. It's not a problem. I'm just gonna add it. And I'm gonna ink it in. And look at that. You never know. You never know. See? So to fill that in, I'm going to ink these in inside the deep black. These areas are called drama. This is the only time I like drama. Just saying. So I'm going to add some more poke leaves. Coming off. I'm sorry, I got very quiet. And what we can do is we just ink around them, add a little weight. And no one will ever know. But now I gotta add one down here. Okay, so I kind of stopped talking about the special announcement. I'm so sorry. So you all know by now we have our community, and we're having a lot of fun with our tangles and all of that fun stuff. There we go. So we just filled that in. See? And you don't know, because that spot is going to go away when we add in our graphite and our coloring and all of that stuff. But do you have to have colors? No. We can just use our graphite and just look at the different ways to add our shading. Okay, so for the announcement, I have added, this took me a while to think about, I have added another layer or level into our community. So we still have the free layer and the colored pencil tutorial. Making a card is going to be coming out soon. Just got to do the final touches on the video. And then we are doing something special in our what was our second level, getting together as a group for a live Zoom, which I think will be fun. We're going to tangle the afternoon away. But I did create a middle level. I'm going to fill these in too. And what that middle level is, it is all tangles and how we can incorporate it into card making. We are going to not just do hand tangles, we are going to do, we're going to tangle with our stash. We are going to do tiles. We're going to make card fronts. We're going to add tangles to things and all of that fun stuff. Because I do feel, and I have come to an understanding that Zentangle can become, I think, a major part in our paper crafting world. And I think that will be perfect. Now, since it is a middle level, yes. Oh, Vicky, have a good one. Enjoy. Um, there is a monthly fee, and it is $4.99 a month. And in there, you'll get, so there is a monthly tangle that comes out for everyone, for all levels. The Inktober will stay coming out for all levels, and then there'll just be different things in the other two levels. And then in that middle level, we're going to have two tangles come in each month that we'll play with and create things just focusing on those tangles as well, so that we can build up and either do something small or something big and all of that stuff. So it's just going to be tangling. Now, if you're already in the upper level, you will have access to the middle level. So your free level, you're in that area there, and if you're in the middle level, you'll see everything in the free level and that middle level. And then when you're in the top level, the top tier, you get access to everything that comes out. Does that make sense? Did I explain that? Flo, how are you doing? There was a question here, and I think Jill asked, yes, how long have I been Zentangling? I have been a certified Zentangle instructor for, I want to say, 5 years. Um, and just absolutely love it. Very, very much so. So I hope, um, if you can, I hope you'll join us. But just know you'll have access to Tangles because that one every month will come out. But I think you'll very much be surprised. We all can tangle. Um, we may just do it differently, but we all can do this. It's not. It just needs to be broken down. Everybody learns differently. Absolutely. For me, there was always tangles that I looked at and went, "Oh no." But just like with anything, practice. We've got to practice. That's what we do when we make our cards or make our journals. We practice, we try new things. And again, I'm just putting my graphite down. There is no rhyme or reason to what I'm doing here. I'm just putting it down. You can create shapes with it. So yeah, I hope you join me over there. Now, I just launched it yesterday. Gwen was right on it. You made me giggle. Um, so that will start becoming completely active in November. I'm going to choose some tangles. And again, if the tangles are done by Zentangle, that'll also include a step out that you'll be able to get. And then just stay tuned. I don't want to make, I'm going to make you all nuts. I'm not going to make the full announcement on this one, but there's going to be something very special that I'm putting together for 2026 that will be available um, to everyone. It's not going to be in the community. So it looks like a hot mess, right? But it's not. This one, I'm just going to keep it with the graphite because we can. And now I'm just going to pull all of it out. And putting your graphite down, it's the same concept when we, when we color it, like with florals. So here we have a floral. If we leave the center open, it looks like it's folding over. You can use your graphite to color things in. So if I put more graphite in here, and I could have used a darker one, but just using the one, you can see you can get your values. And it's still different. And don't worry, like if you miss a spot, like I didn't have any graphite there, I've got a ton that sit on my tortillons. And if you don't have tortillons or anything like that, Q-tip. And believe it or not, all Q-tips are not made the same. The ones from the dollar store will work better because there's not as much cotton on them than the Q-tip brand. So they'll work better. Who knew, right? because you want that firmness. And you can see on the poke leaf and the poker, I'm just going back and forth over it. There's no precision. And I had a real interesting question. Somebody had asked, what do you use to seal this? Nothing. I don't use anything. Now, you will get graphite on your hand as you're swooshing through this, so a piece of glassine sometimes works. I just try to keep my hand up. It's not successful all the time. And look, that spot disappeared, gone. It's like a gem. just, just stick a gem there, and it will work. There you go. That's it. Good morning, Teresa. I hope you are well. Thank you so much for yesterday. You know what I mean. So I'm just making sure. What's going on, making sure I'm not missing any question. Okay. So there you go. And I think these look great without sentiments, because they can make great note cards. And again, this is on a 4 7/8 by 6 7/8 panel. The Canson XL vellum. All right, so this will fit. This is, boom, right there for a standard A2 size card or 5x7 card. Now here's a standard A2 size card. So if you think about it, if I put this on top of it, that's how much you're losing. So this can go onto a standard A2 size card. You're just going to have some of the pieces coming off, but that's what makes that panel look interesting as well. Now that's the full size of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So you'll lose just a little bit more if you take it to 4 by 5 1/4 so that you can mat it. All right. Okay. Now there's one more thing that I wanted to do with that one. So here I have these open, that's called tipple, these open orbs. So why not take a jelly roll and ink some of those in. And me and jelly rolls, we don't get along. It's another one of those love-hate relationships. But if you put no pressure and just swirl around, the ink just comes out sometimes. I don't know. I always have problems. Am I on? Yes. So it's very basic supplies. And that's what I love about Tangle too. Even if you do the tangles, very basic supplies. You don't have to get into gems. And I already have the few. You okay down there, Max? All right. You know, you can add gems. I do. We're gonna go for it. But if you have gel pens, you know, they can act like your embellishment, like I'm doing here, because we can add little dots in our print dots. And I always do this last. If I'm adding a jelly roll or a gel pen, I always do that last after I've done the graphite and everything else. And you can see I'm keeping this like straight up. We do not, Jelly Rolls and I, we just don't get along. What time are we at? Okay, it's 10:07. I think I might be able to finish all 4 cards. Woohoo! Oh, just a little bit of sparkle with a pen. With a pen. Okay. Let's can even add highlights with your jelly roll. And again, it's just a little tiny mark in your orbs. You can color some of them in. Starting to get caught up here. And that just that little area just added something. All right, let's move on. Now, I do have this one off to the side, so I may add a sentiment, but I do know that I want to go around the outside of this. Now, which way do I want it to go? So if we put, I'm going to go with the darker one. I'm going to go to town on this one. Now, when you first put your graphite on, go light. Less is more. You can't take it away because we don't use an eraser. No erasers. Now see, I just went from blank. Where's my blank? That's the green. I don't want to cross-contaminate if I want to. That's my blank. We do not use erasers. I'm going to say that again. We do not use erasers. So these are the things that you're going to learn in the middle group, but using our stash as well. Because we can. And if I keep just pulling this out, going back and forth, now it looks like it's going that way. See? Trick of the eye, trick of the eye. Kelly, how do I find your group to join? It is, um, I'll have it linked, or if you go to any of my previous videos, my previous lives, there's a link down there, and it'll take you to the community, and then you can choose what level you want to go into. You'll be able to pick and choose, and each one has a description when you go to that page and all of that fun stuff. All right, so now that I've got that, let's continue. Now I'm going to go back to my regular. And we'll add these. And then for these, I'm going to go just lightly around these little tipples. And you could look at your piece and say, nope, this is what I want to do when it comes to the shading. I don't want to shade around the tipples. I want to focus on this. It's the beauty of it. There's no right or wrong when it comes to adding your graphite or creating your tangles. It can be used for pictures, and we're going to see that. You can make emblems, and we're going to get into that. In that group, the fragment challenge, there's a fragment challenge that comes out. That will sit in that group. But Inktober will always come out for everyone. So here I'm just focusing on when things are crossing over, or when something's over something else, because then it'll give that shade. And give the illusion that it's crossing over. Or coming out from underneath. And then for this, I'm going to add just one pop of color. So for me, this is like reminiscent of those vintage photos, you know, like they were black and white, but maybe the woman's cheeks were pink. I don't know. I forget. I don't know what that's called. Yeah. And I'm going to do the same thing, where I'm going to mix the colors, but I want these flowers to have this bright shade. All right, let's get those blended. Yeah, this is something new. I really like the graphite mixed with colors. I don't know why. It just changes the look. Ah, I like it. Tinted photos. Yes, that's it. That is it. And there's Biddy putting the link to the community. All right, and then this is just going to have, I don't know, I always loved those photos, and I have a couple of them of my great-grandparents, and I treasure them. I just absolutely treasure them. So yeah, so if you're looking into chalk pastels, just get a few. Don't don't go crazy. Don't go nuts. I know that's funny coming from me, and I am not a good example. And if you want, you can add the leftover graphite in your blending stump on top. To just give them a little bit more color. And there you go. So now this looks like it's going this way, and it's just got that poof, pop of color. Oh, and look, there's a boo-boo. Oh, yeah. Okay, where's my pen? Okay, that's funny. So we're going to add some orbs in here. And we can do that. Because that's the beauty of this. There you go. See? Never know. But we can also add more off of this as well. So if you see this pattern, you know, why not take it and say, okay, I'm going to come off like this. And I'm going to come back in. This is called Hollis. Ooh. It'll be a very quiet group. And we'll add one more. See? Why not? And that just, and again, all we did was we followed what was here of what we saw. And now I'll ink that in. This is moon pie. And we can make these just a little bit different. We don't even have to make them full. And then this is going to be henna drum that comes off of it. I promise you guys, tangling is using strokes that we use every day. Well, okay. For most of us, It truly is. And then this is hatching. Please tell me I'm in view. Yes. I'm always paranoid I'm gonna go out. And then we can do the same thing. Put that down here. And then we'll add our pop of color back out onto it. Again, add as much or as little as you want. You can add your white on top if you want to make sure you got your highlights. Ooh, ooh. What'd you get that little guy? There you go. Okay. We can have fun with fescue. Okay, I really need to stop doing that. I could have fun with this one. Fescue just goes all over the place. So, card number 3. Yes, Gwen. Absolutely. That is it exactly. So now this looks like that it's being released. All right, so that's our third one. This one. This one's my favorite. I love them all. I really love this collection. And the story will be told on November 2nd. I'm not going to tell the story that is behind this, but there is a story to this collection. A very special story. Okay. So this one, now again, you could, believe it or not, you could turn this into a Christmas scene. This could be a candy cane just by adding red into these areas. Again, looking at your colors, we can change the look of our piece. All right? But this one to me, Halloween. It was just reminiscent of Halloween. So we are going to have fun with our colors. So if you're that person that likes to have fun with the colors, hello, be creative. Hollis Hollenbach-Fonsky. Ah, woman after my own heart. Yes! Love it. Um, this, you can change the look of anything. So we're going to go with oranges. But again, still doing the same thing though, because I'm really, really liking the whole mixing with the graphite and all of that. So there's my 3 colors for Halloween. So I'm going to get all of the graphite down first. I'm going to use the darker one in these areas here. Now, does anybody have any questions when it comes to that group that I just added? Let me know, reach out to me, and I'll give you more information. I tried to put as much detail as I could in the description, but it's going to be a mixture of everything. You will be amazed at what is going to come out of it. Um, with what we can do and how we're going to incorporate and how we can incorporate the Zentangle. And again, it's not just, yes, we're going to we're going to tangle together. Yes, I'll use some of my stamps to show different things, but you can, it can be applied to your stash as well. And that's the part that I do want to stress. So don't think that, okay, well, I can't join that group because I don't have what I need for that. You do. Believe me, you do. And that's the strength that I want to show in this. So again, I'm going to get my graphite down first. And I'm staying to the top and the bottom of these so that I can keep the curve of the rope. I always go into the base of flux. Flux would be adorable as little ghosts. Just saying. Just saying. All right, what am I missing here? And again, see how I'm just, I mean, there's no, we're just slapping it on. Whenever something overlaps, I'll go and I'll put something around that as well, because then that piece will come up. And our little roundabouts. This is a fun tangle. I'm going to emphasize that because it's getting cut through. All right, so I'm going to add, not the purple yet. I'm going to blend this out because I want to see what this is looking like. So again, keeping that highlight in the rope. And we've got this darkest coming out around the frame. Yeah, I just did a whole turning thing on that one. So I keep turning this, two reasons. One, if you notice my hand's not moving, that's staying in its spot, but I also don't want to my hand right across this whole thing. Again, once you get your graphite set, there's nothing you need to seal it. And I thought that was a very interesting question when I got that yesterday, because I had never been asked that before. But it's because we're pushing the graphite into the paper by rubbing it in there. I've never sealed any of my pieces, and I've never had any problems. And that's what it looks like if you just let it like that. Oh, bye, Teresa. Yes, I do too. Be creative. So what I do is I'll sometimes have a glassine. If the piece is really big and if I can't maneuver around it, I'll get a piece of glassine and I'll just keep that there. And then that'll just stay under my hand as I do that. Or I'll keep checking it every once in a while. And, I'm always hopeful I have a black shirt on because I'm just rubbing it on there. All right. Let's see. Toodles. Yes, I love toodles. Do I have any formula or pattern on how you do your shading? No, I do not. I just go to it. You can see the difference between these two. I do lean towards this one because I am very heavy with graphite. I love the look of the graphite. What I'm loving now is the look of adding chalk pastels to it. So now I'm going to come in with this purple on top. I mean, I love it just the way that it is. It looks exactly what was in my head. Eerie, somewhat creepy, but this to me is a Halloween tangle. I got stuck into, okay, well, I should do a pumpkin, or I should do this, or I should do that. It was just bad. But once I got here, I'm like, This is Halloween. But again, just changing your colors, you can make this look Christmas. Again, instead of putting purple in here like I am, why not put a red? Make it look like a candy cane rope. Why not use all of your Christmas shades throughout your tangles when it comes to this? But no, I just go to town. I'm very heavy-handed with it. All right, so that's the rope. I want Toodles to be orange. And where I have the graphite on this side, I'm going to put the orange on this side and a smaller amount on this side. Because I still want to see the colors. So let's go with that. I think we're going to put the green in on poke root. What are other Halloween colors? Well, we can go with a bluish purple here. I think Foundabout's going to be one of the first ones that we do in November. I love Foundabout. Foundabout's awesome. Oh, hello, Anthony. How are you doing? No, there is no difference between a solid blending stump and a hollow one. So, I don't have them out, of course. Okay. So your solid ones have a point on each end, and they're just that. They're solid. They can be this round. They can get really skinny. Um, I just think these, for me, these are easier to use because I cup them up in my hand. The two-ended solid ones, they're longer, and I tend to do this, and that's not comfortable for me. Also, with the double ones, you've got to get sandpaper to get them back to the point. You've got to clip them with scissors. With this, you use a paper clip to push out the point again. So to me, I like these, and these are more cost effective. You can get a dozen for, I think, under $2 at Dick Blick, and the more you buy, the cheaper they become. So again, personal preference, this is my preference when it comes to this. I think I'm going to make Flux. I'm going to come in with, not that. I'm going to come in with my darker and just make them blue. Anthony, I hope that helped. So we're just going to darken these. So this is like an 8 or maybe it's a 12B, they said. So this is very, very dark. Now I know there's another question in there. Hang on. All right, so Flux is just going to get to... Ooh, I need to add... Oh. Okay, and the other question... what pencils am I using to use? Okay, so these, of course, are the Zentangle regular graphite, which is nothing more. Number 2 pencil. All right. This one here is something new that they came out with. General has it, and it is it's a deep matte black. Similar to the Faber-Castell line of matte blacks. But this is just a lot darker. So if I look at, if I put this down, and then if I put this down, you can see the difference. This is just a lot darker than this. You can get this dark though, just doing that. The colored ones that I'm using are something that I found. They're by Soho. So they're Soho Urban Artists. They're woodless pastels, pastel chalks. I'm liking them. I don't know if they come up in open stock, but I'm very much liking them. Okay, so I think, I know I had a green. Where's my green? Okay, well, we'll just use this one. Okay, so here, again, mixing these two, I'm just falling in love with it. But also having that bright pop come out, I'm liking that too. So yeah, this was something that I just started doing, and I just really like it. I just love the colors when it comes out. I'm not worried about if I'm close to the edge. You don't want to get close to the edge. Um, Here's my green, because that way it'll look more round. But you can see I don't focus in. So there's that. Where's that orange? I want to add a little bit in here. So see, whenever you have something left over, you can still go back into it. I'll blend out just that strange, eerie, purplish blue. We've used the deep charcoal, or you could use black, on our flux, just to make them darker, or the shading darker. So we have that. And you said brown. Okay. And then we can also come in with our white. Get that highlight back in there. Now let's shade out our purple. Oh, Max. I don't know if y'all can hear that. Wow. Now, you don't have to put the graphite down first. I just think it makes it look more grungy. There you go. I need that orange again. There's the Halloween version. But I really did like this, to be very honest. Just the graphite. And the different shades and the different levels. But I do like this too. I like the way the Toodles is popping off. You've got the poke roots that are coming out. Um, just the hint of that blue, that very odd blue. I don't even know. Blue, purple. I don't know. I don't know what color that is. Um, and then the deepness within flux. I really like it. But yeah, I do suggest, make sure if you're going to go into colors, again, you don't have to. You want to have your different tertiones in there. So basically, what I showed, or what my intention of showing you was, first, the stamps are ready for pre-order. If you're interested, oh, I need something to drink my coffee. I haven't had enough coffee today. Oh, poor baby. Who's saying oh, poor babies? Oh my goodness, what's going on? Oh, so sorry about that. So be creative. Yes, there is. So I have, um, I do have a community. So, and let me show the cards and then I'll wrap up. Okay. And then I'll re-explain the community again. Um, just so that you have all the information if you're interested, because I've got different levels. Okay. So here are our cards. I had a lot of fun. And let me zoom back out. How's that? I'm getting the hang of the zooming now. Okay. So again, these are the 4 stamp sets that are available now for pre-order. They will start shipping November 2nd. All right. Um, if you're interested, and then I can't believe it. This is my 5th collection. My 5th collection. Um, if you're interested and you're like, yes, please make sure you check this out. Yesterday was a humbling and amazing day for me yesterday. So a couple of the stamp sets have already sold out, not the new ones, but there have been some purchases on those. So if you're interested, get in there. But don't worry, we're going to more than likely place another order for them. Okay. And then if you see anything so that we will do another run as well. I'll always let everyone know if this stamp's going to come back or if this one's going to be discontinued. I'm not there yet. All right, so these are the 4. And I showed different things that you can do with them with each of them. So for this one, I showed we can fussy cut a section out and give it that dimension, but still add our graphite around to make it look like the whole image is popping off the page, but also add dimension to that. So we can take segments. We could have done the same thing here. We could have cut these out and cut these out and popped those up as well. And that would have looked really cool with the 3 pop-ups coming up onto this. For the embellishment, we don't need to use gems or anything else. Let's pull in a jelly roll and just have fun coloring in those areas, adding dots in the center of print tops. So one way that you can utilize these stamps. Now again, this will fit on a standard A2 size card base when it comes to the stocking. That's not a standard A2 size base. I had one in here, and now I don't know where it is. I just throw things. So if I put that on top, you can see, yep, it will fit on there. It is completely up underneath that. All right. So great for 8 for 5x7, great for 7x7. Yes, great for 6x6 and also the A2. Here, we just stamped our image. Yes, these are large framed image. And again, you will know why this collection looks and feels the way that it does. But yes, this does fit on a 5x7 card base perfectly. This panel here was cut to 4 7/8 by 6 7/8, and it fits graciously. Again, if I take that standard A2 size, you're just losing little bits of it, but you still have the frame that's sitting in there. And all we did, pencil. Yes, I added some, jelly roll down there, but pencil. That's all you need. It's awesome. It's an awesome effect. Yes, you have to like the monochromatic look, but this graphite, it makes it look 3D. These bows look like they're dimensional. And it's completely flat layered, one layered card. That's the beauty of that as well. This one here, this could be for Christmas. You can make this look Christmas. You can make this look Halloween just by simply using your colors. Now, again, I love adding my colors to the graphite. I started that recently and absolutely loving it. I'm loving the dimension that it gives, and I'm loving the effect that it does. Do you have to mix colors, your chalk pastels, when it comes to the graphite? No, you could just do straight. I mean, this would look gorgeous with those bright, vibrant colors. Absolutely. This would look amazing like that as well. But again, I'm kind of liking that look of the graphite. Picture this stamped on black cardstock in white heat embossing with all of these bright colors coming through. So again, we can add colors. I do recommend a chalk pastel or something like that. Can we do this in colored pencils? Absolutely we can. These are things that, all of these things that I'm talking about is what is going to be deep dive explored into that middle level that I've created when it comes to this, okay? And then finally, just that one pop of color, just that one boom, and the way that we shade and how we can make it look something's looking 3D or coming off that page or lifting off into a direction. But we can also add tangles off to the side of it as well. And that's something else that we're going to deep dive explore. And again, you don't need this stamp to do this. We are going to dig into your stash and say, okay, let's find that one image, and now we're going to work with that image and have fun with that image. So I hope you enjoyed these four. I hope you enjoyed the collection. I thought this was a good way for you to all see it in action. So the community that I'm talking about, again, I'm located up on Podia. I'm sure Biddy, I know she's put that, yeah, she has. So it's in the comments. I will link it down below. And when you go there, there's 3 levels. There's a free level, there's a mid level, and then there's the top tier. So we'll call it tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Tier 1, we're looking at all kinds of techniques for paper. And again, it's not just card making that I show. I go into, techniques that could be used if you do journals. I go into masterboards. I go into simplicity. I'm going into all these different techniques that you can apply to whatever paper craft you like to work with, whether that's card making, whether it's scrapbooking, all of those things. I don't want anyone to think, oh, well, this isn't card making. It's for card making. Adapt it to what you create. Tier 2 was just literally created yesterday. It's $4.99 a month, and it is going to focus on everything that I've talked about here today in this live, and then some. It's almost like a deep dive. What also happens every month in the level 1, which goes across all 3, is you'll see one tangle. Every month there is a tangle that comes out. So when you're in the second level, you will have not only that tangle, but we're going to visit 2 or 3 other ones. And we're going to look at what we can do with them, how we can alter them, how we can work with them for your cards or anything that you do with paper crafting. There may be some zooms that we'll have in that layer as well. Tier 3, you get everything that's below that I just mentioned, and in there we've done deep dives into journals, sewn journals, paper bag journals, decorating the journals, interactive components, scrapbook albums. So those are very detailed tutorials. And all of the videos in all three levels are detailed step-by-step live recorded tutorials. I try not to get too gabby, but I want to make sure that I'm answering all of those questions that I'm thinking that you could have. That top tier to get everything from the basics of techniques to all the Zentangle to, okay, we're just going to build an album or build a home decor piece, that's $9.99 a month. All right, so that's the breakdown of the community. I'm very honored wherever you are in that community. I'm just honored to be part of your journey when it comes to your creativity and what you're interested in. But just know, it's not, boom, it's not specific cards. In the free group for this month, not only are we doing a Tangle every day for Inktober, but you're going to see a card where we're going to use colored pencils, and I walk through that. And if that piqued your interest, I do have an extremely detailed course available as well, because I do have individual courses available also, if you're interested in that community or in the outside the community. If you're just looking for a class, say, okay, I just want to hear it once and be done. You can do that as well. Okay? Any other question? I know I'm hearing. I'm hearing, yes. I've been gotten a lot of comments. There were a couple people that saw. Hello, Pamela. You just got to hear my plug for my community. Yes, I hope you'll be there. But it's something for everybody. Okay, and I don't want anyone to think, oh well, you know, again, our minds do this. Oh, well, you can only pay and you only get those things. No, there's a little bit of everything in the free. There's just more details and more focus and a higher level within the other two. So there's something for everybody when it comes to that, because I don't believe art or the ability to create should be held back from anyone. Um, so just keep that in mind. But just know they are long. Some of them are long, step-by-step tutorials when it comes into that. And you should always be notified when I do post. Oh, good. Okay. You are very welcome for the explanation. Oh, there you go. Then you may enjoy the middle tier. Again, that's $4.99. And again, the Zoom that we're going to have for the third tier, that was prior to this coming in. But we will have Zooms, a Zoom or two in that middle tier as well, just because we can have fun. Now, when I go live on November 2nd, which is in 2 weekends, we're going to go through all of the samples. That's what that live is going to be, and we're going to talk through that, which may also give you a sense of what that middle tier is going to be as well, because these types of things are going to be discussed. While it's not just tangles, what can you use with your tangles? What can you color with your tangles? What, watercoloring, doing the mapping, and all of that fun stuff. So you may see all of that in there. And then shortly around after that, please make sure you stay tuned to Biddy, because she is on my design team along with Sean. I cannot wait to see what these two come up with these stamps. And also on November 2nd, you will hear the story behind these because there is a story. It's absolutely hysterical and touching. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Very much so. Does anybody have any other questions? Oh, bye, Harriet. Take care. I did not do these as digitals. I've been asked if I would take my stamps to a digital component, and I'm still toying with that. Um, so, yeah. I'm glad you found me as well. I hope to see you in, at least in the free group. Come join us in the free group. I'd love to see you there. Let's see. All right. So I'm going to get going because I need to, in the matter of 45 minutes, I need to ground beef to get it into the crock pot so that I can make my chili prior to noon because I'm about to go live for the Stress Free Card Maker Summit. So today is going to be a full day, absolutely full day. I want to thank you guys for coming. I hope you enjoyed at least the techniques. Everything that I did here to colorize these, use what you have in your stash. I know I'm talking about a stamp launch and a community, but again, it's just to help you all and just to give you ideas and inspiration, if nothing else. That's what this is about. All right, but I do hope I'll see you in the community. Take care, enjoy your day, stay tuned for more things that may come up. Um, and next week, I will also be announcing the possibility of the Christmas series. I'm just going to do it a little differently, I think. I just got to do the finalization on it um, the on how I'm going to do that. What about, let's see. What about 555 pencils on Dick Blick? I've never heard of them, Gwen. Send them a picture of them on instant messengers. I've never heard of them. But again, you can use anything. All right, guys. Take care. Have fun. Thank you for spending this time with me. I truly and greatly appreciate it. It's always fun. I love doing these lives. I look forward to Sundays. All right. Continue to stay safe and healthy. I will talk to you. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. And I will have all the links that we talked about, even to Biddy's channel and to Sean's channel, to make sure you're ready for November 2nd, down in the description. Just give me about 10, 15 minutes, maybe 30, to get them down in there. All right? I love you all. Have a great day and take care. Bye.